Yes, a movie about a guy surviving a world of giant insect monsters in the name of love. That is to say, though this is nothing like Monster Hunter, it's probably more like Monster Hunter than the actual Monster Hunter movie we're getting, so good on this movie for accidentally stumbling into that. Love and Monsters. So Love and Monsters is, it's a post-apocalyptic movie, otherwise known as probably 2021. At this point, civilization has fallen. We're no longer at the top of the food chain. Everybody lives in these little colony bunkers underground because insects, lizards, and other creepy crawlies we just dealt with a boot or a can of Raid, or for you vegans out there, released back into the wild. They've mutated and they've become enormous, at least as big as a house, so we just kind of need to hide from them. And Dylan O'Brien's like, I'm gonna travel 80 miles to this other encampment where my girlfriend from before civilization fell, so from a few years ago, is. Only thing is, Dylan O'Brien's character, not really a survivalist, will probably not fare so well on the surface. He's a nerd, he's kind of a klutz, does not know how to take on a monster, yet he goes on his quest in the name of love. And I quite enjoyed myself in this movie. First of all, Dylan O'Brien, guy is a charismatic actor. He's one of those actors, even if he's in a movie that's not so good, you can tell he's given 110%. And I'm not saying he's the only thing this movie had going for it. There's actually a lot that I did like about this movie. But if this movie didn't have Dylan O'Brien as the lead, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much. Not only am I baffled just looking at him, I'm like, this guy can play an age range of 10 years. Probably more. He can play a 17-year-old to a 30-year-old, and I'll believe it. That doesn't just come from looks, that comes from maturity of acting prowess. The guy is just instantly relatable, instantly likable. There are some scenes in this movie I'm like, oh, you're hitting the emotion switch. You're turning on the works. Okay. Didn't expect it. When he gets emotional in this movie, you feel it. When he cracks a comedic joke of some sort, lightening the mood, it doesn't compromise the emotional tone, and that's something that movies these days, it's like they forgot how to do that. And while he's out there on the surface, he runs across a couple of friends. First of all, though, the creature designs are actually pretty rad because you know what animal you're looking at, but it's a mutated version of it, so it's slightly different. Also, much more enormous. But I enjoyed the couple of friends he runs across. He runs across this little girl palling around with this apocalypse survivor guy played by Michael Rooker, so of course he plays that. It's Michael Rooker. He's always a variant of Michael Rooker being Michael Rooker. In fact, I don't even know he knew he was being filmed, to be honest with you. This guy, when John Schnepp did comic book shopping with Michael Rooker proceeded to show him different ways to kill a person. I mean, to be fair, all self-defense scenarios, but still, Michael Rooker actually effectively knows creative ways to dispatch anyone who would try to do him harm. And I'm not even the least bit surprised that that's reality. How could you not have him in this movie? Anyhow, I enjoyed his character, and he's the one who shows our lead. He shows Dylan O'Brien's character the ropes, like, okay, look out for this, watch out for this, these monsters act like this, these monsters act like that. But the most important friend he finds is a dog. The dog's name is Boy. Boy is so important to this movie because, first of all, it's a dog in the apocalypse. I think about that sometimes, like, okay, the apocalypse happens, how's it gonna go down? My dogs are such bark machines. I'm like, we'll probably die very quickly, but we'll die together. You can't just leave your dogs. Come on. But that's what this dog feels like. This dog is family, and this dog leads to some intense moments. And this isn't a monster movie with people in it in which the people feel like they're taken away from the monsters. From the get-go, it establishes this is a movie about the human beings. The monsters are secondary, and they don't overplay the monsters. They don't throw too many monsters on screen, which means when the monsters do show up, it feels special, and it always feels intense. You have too many monsters, like, oh, okay, yeah, let's just escape, evade, or take out another one. But when one shows up, it's business, you're white-knuckling it, it feels intense. It feels as intense as it does because he has something to lose other than himself, and that is his dog. If the dog wasn't in this movie, it would have changed the entire dynamic of the movie, changed the vibe of the movie, and I wouldn't have been as attached to the movie. Dylan O'Brien and the dog make the movie. I firmly believe that. Having the dog in this movie was a brilliant call. All this is to say I had a really good time with Love and Monsters in a world where I didn't know what Love and Monsters was about. I thought it was going to be love and monsters, like Halloween monsters. No. I feel like my horror review extravaganza kind of got away from me this week, where I was like, hey, nope, that's not really Halloweenish. That's not really Halloweenish either. We'll get back on track next week. In the end, this movie was a proper movie of character growth. You're there with Dylan O'Brien's character. You're there to see him grow, and he does. Again, it's like something lately movies have just kind of forgotten how to do that. I mean, not always, but enough for me to address it here. And it's inspiring, like proper inspiration. I was looking at this character at the end, I'm like, This is a character that actually does inspire people. Not just someone who is badass, always will be badass, all right, now I'm the leader. But no, a character like this, that's an inspirational character to me. It's a coming-of-age movie about love, family, human connection, and the better connection than human connection, which is human connection and a dog. I feel like I'm actually gonna buy this one. It's worth watching and worth buying on Blu-ray. I mean, you rent it right now for 20 bucks, which seems kind of steep. $5 more, you get it digitally. Do what you want. Just saying, I really enjoyed the movie. All right, so Love and Monsters, have you seen it? What did you think about it? I saw it on Amazon. I don't know if that's the only place to watch it, but just where I saw it. I have been told in the comment section people would like to know where to find these movies, so there you go. But what did you think about it, or what's your favorite monster movie of all time? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.